Here are some of the best marketing strategies for 2023. Hi, I'm Ryan Gray from Law Firm Marketing Hub, and I'm not going to give you the standard search engine optimization and that sort of thing. I want to be a bit more strategic, and I want to start with mature platforms. So, where a platform where people are, where traffic is, or you can get traffic from, where that's a mature platform, it's going to be more expensive than, say, a newer or harder platform. Now, I'm not saying that a mature platform is bad. In fact, we use them and they're quite good. It just takes a little bit more skill to use. If you're going to jump in and compete where people already have $100 million budget or even $1 million budget and you don't, then you need to be a bit more strategic about it. Because what's going to happen is that your cost to acquire a new client is going to be a lot higher than if you use a newer or harder medium to get traffic. Now, what underpins this is an understanding that a lead is somewhere in the buying cycle. They might be at the information gathering stage, they might not even know that they have a problem, but they are somewhere. And what we need to do is we need to lead them through a process to take them from reasonably cold to, hey, I like what you're doing here. I need what you've got. You're the guy for me or girl for me. You're the firm for me. Now, we highly recommend that you use social media. And in particular, video on social media, because you can do that with and without an ad budget, and you can get some really, really good results. Obviously, if you're paying the social platforms, you can move things forward faster, but it doesn't necessarily always have to be the case. Now, that being said, if you're ranking on, say, Google or Bing or something like that, then you can actually get some really good quality leads because they're actively searching for what you're doing instead of using interruption marketing. Now, an interruption is where someone was, say, scrolling through their feed on social media and they see your ad. It's interrupted their entertainment, but they see it and they go, oh, that's a great idea. Their interest level is not quite as high as search, but of course you're paying a lot more for someone who's actively searching, and that is literally where most of your competitors are going to be playing, in that area of people actively searching. And so the cost to acquire that new customer is going to be astronomical compared to if you can take someone who wasn't necessarily looking and guide them through a process to make them interested. So essentially, we need to warm up our prospects. We need to give them enough information that they know that you're the person for the job, you're the firm for the job. It's really important that we don't take a low interest person and put them straight into a sales type situation where you're trying to make them become a client, because it just doesn't work. Trying to get a low interest person to part with money, it's just a recipe for disaster. And that's where you get these horror stories around people saying, oh, I've spent all this money on marketing and I haven't been able to convert any of these leads or inquiries into actual clients. In comparison, if you're speaking to a warm prospect, someone who's been warmed up, someone who's consumed some of your content, someone who has had some interactions with you, and it doesn't necessarily always have to be content, it can be seeing your ad through things like retargeting, where they see your ad repeatedly and they see your brand repeatedly, and they start to feel an affinity with the brand and they start to build a level of trust. And the best way to do that is to be prolific and profound. I have a friend who used to always say that you have to be prolific and you have to be profound. Now, prolific essentially means that you're everywhere all the time. And in the age of digital, this is actually really easy to achieve. You don't need to have a multi-million-dollar marketing budget to be able to get that feel of being prolific and being everywhere. There's a lot of ways to get a lot of coverage, and you can do that fairly cheaply, which is a really, really great way of doing it. And you have to be profound. You have to be inspiring people to do something new. You have to be motivating them to take action. You have to educate so that they know something that they didn't before, and transform their thinking so that they're looking at things from a different perspective and from a different way. And that's possible for everybody to do, because you have some expertise and you have an approach, a way of doing things that is unique to you and an area where you can provide some genuine value. Now, visual is best. Using video and images to convey your message is typically what gets the most traction. And we've seen this over hundreds of clients, probably thousands of clients actually, over many years now. Now, the key to ensuring success here is to know what you want to do with your content. If you can take your potential client from here and walk them by the hand to where they're going to experience the maximum level of success, then you're doing your job. Now, this is not necessarily giving them the entire service. It's showing them a pathway. It's showing them that you have a solution. And it's giving them enough to whet their appetite, but not enough necessarily to be able to go and do it themselves. Now, you might provide templates or resources or whatever it is, and then only handle the more complicated cases, in which case that's totally fine. But generally speaking, we don't want to let the cat out of the bag too early. We want to give them some great material. And then once they've reached that point where they've realized that you're the firm for them, then we want them to be in touch for you to be able to finish off the process with them. Now, I've included a marketing plan in the link below this video, and you can download that, and that actually covers off the different elements that you need in any good, solid marketing plan if you're a law firm. So I hope that's helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.